Welcome into what we're going to call the emergency podcast for Palmetto Dugout Show. We're going to kind of recap Forest Acres Classic and the South Carolina Diamond Invitational as well, as we have been to both locations throughout the week. And a lot of guys to talk about, so we didn't want to wait until the real Palmetto Dugout Show to get to all these guys. Want to give these guys love and these teams love. Also, make sure you have a subscription to Prep Baseball Report, as those scout blogs are going in constantly and daily. So you can see all the kids that we have written about previously. So today we're going to talk about some of the guys that stood out for us over the past 3-4 days. And so I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Austin Smith, since he's got to get out of this call here soon. So go ahead, Mr. Smith.
Yeah, got some places to be. They actually the job, my side job over here, teaching school. Don't tell them I'm on here, brother. They might frown upon that. First kid, I all three of my guys are coming from that night game last night, the Dorman Bowling Springs matchup. I got two Dormans, one Bowling Springs guy. The two Dorman guys, young guys. First one is kind of woke some people up last night. Connor Wells, left-handed pitcher from Dorman. He's 8th grader, 2027. Tall kid, left-hander, came in, and he was 83, 87, threw a little over 2 innings. He came in that first inning, man. He was lights out when he came in. He was like I said, up to 87. I think one of the videos we had the strike 3 pitch. The fastball in the corner. I think that was the pitch he hit 87 on. But yeah, you got an 8th grader throwing 87 in a tournament like that against a team like Bowling Springs. Struck out the side that first inning when he came in, struck out the side in the first inning up to 87. Spotted it well that first inning. Second inning he came out. I think he struck out 2 guys that inning. I think he might have gave up a hit that time around, but yeah, very impressive night for Connor. Kind of bursting on the scene, I guess you would say. But yeah, impressive 8th grader to keep an eye on going forward. Should have a lot of innings in his future for Dorman over there and Coach Jolly. Second Dorman kid I got is another young guy. This kid's 2026 freshman infielder. I think he played second base last night. I'm not sure if he finished up there, but I know he started over there. Palmer Hornick, infielder, right-handed pitcher from Dorman. He had 2 hits and an RBI early. One of those hits came off of my third guy I'm talking about. Very good arm, but he had a hit off of him. He hits up there at the top of the Dorman order. And in his last at bat, he actually hit the hardest ball he hit all night, but he got out. That was the one that the video actually came from. But he squared one up center field. Center fielder made a nice play running it down. But he had a pair of hits, RBI, hit the ball in the barrel. Just another good young player for Dorman. They got a lot of guys. Should be a good team coming back next year, and with these 2 guys for several years. And then my last guy is more of a familiar name, I guess. Clemson commit, 2023, Jackson Cole, left-handed pitcher from Bowling Springs. We've seen him several times this year. I saw him in the I think it was a championship game, the Steve Sanders tournament at the beginning of the year against Blue Ridge. He was very good. He was 87, 89 last night. He didn't pitch long. I think he pitched about 3 innings, 3 or 4. But he was as impressive as he has been since I've seen him. Sprayed it around a little bit in the first inning. Didn't get into much trouble though. And then the second, third inning, he came out and he was lights out. Second and third. Also, bottom of the first, came up to bat, hit a 2-run homer, and it wasn't a cheap one out there either. I don't think there's a ton of cheap ones going out of that place yesterday, but he definitely, when he hit it, we knew it was gone. So big day for him yesterday. Like I said, 87, 89 on the mound, 2-run homer in the bottom of the first. Three might have been 4. I'm not sure. I should have checked. 3 or 4 shutout innings on the mound. So big day for him. But yeah, that game last night had some. It was late, but there were some good players on the field. Night game.
Yeah, no doubt. After dark. After PBR at sunset, PBR at everything. But it worked out perfect that Austin was able to talk about a game that me and Sammy there was only one PBR scout in attendance for that game. So some big time players on the stage for that game for PBR at Dark. So hey, we're gonna hop on over here to Sammy's house.
I was told I can't talk about the food today. We don't have time, but stay tuned, please, because I'm about to have to run. Please stay tuned for the podcast this weekend, next week, because it's going to be the concession bit is going to be just out of this world. We might even mix in a few new sessions that y'all don't even know about yet. So stay tuned.
Phenomenal. So hey, I'll kind of talk about some guys that I saw through the past. Well, I was only there for a day. Was able to be at the Diamond Invitational and Forest Acres in the same day. And kind of starting off with, I know Sammy, you were able to see him. You like him. That's 2026 middle infielder Ethan Offing from Dutch Fork High School. It's not many days you see a ninth grader starting at shortstop at a big 5A school like Dutch Fork. But impressed early on, kind of caught the eye as soon as I saw him. Middle of the order bat. Of course, he's a baby still. But very athletic actions. He's a QB1 as we've heard and know. But you look at him at shortstop, I understand why he's QB1. The arm is real at shortstop. He made a play in a hole early in that game against AC Flora and threw a piss missile is what I'm going to call it to first base and got the runner out by 5-6 steps. But then he came up in a big situation when Dutch Fork was up 3-0 with the bases loaded, and he smacked the ball about 84-85 to the left center field gap off the wall to score 2 runs. No moment is too big for him. As I saw last night, he's going to be a really good player as he matures and gets older and the frame fills out. So he's going to be an exciting one to watch. Another one who had a huge day as we know it, and that's Cameron Seabuck, 2023 outfielder from Oceanside Collegiate going to Coastal Carolina. A single short of the cycle, Coach. I think he walked in his last at bat. I think I had told him, I said, you should have swung at 2 of those pitches so you had 2 strikes so they'd give you something to hit there to get that single. Started the game off with a leadoff triple, then got a double later in his at bat, and then a home run. He's progressively gotten better since we've seen him at the Shipyard, and a really good top of the order bat for Oceanside who provides that spark. But not only can he swing it, he goes out in the outfield, and Jackson Proctor hit a ball in a big situation deep into the left center field gap, and Seabuck makes the play look easy. Covers a lot of ground. So he's huge in the outfield and at the plate for Oceanside, and will look to be that at Coastal. And then going back to the Forest Acres Classic, 2 right-handed pitchers on the mound, both pitchability guys. You had Charles Flake with AC Flora High School, 2023 uncommitted. Really good for 4 innings. Once he got into that 4th, kind of struggled a little bit. Lost some of that juice, but up to 87 with a lot of movement on the fastball. Got some sink with some arm side run. Pounded the fastball and was able to locate it well early. But his counterpart, Jake Rogers, 2024 right-handed pitcher from Dutch Fork, really good pitchability guy. Once again, he located the fastball really well at 84, and then flipped in a curveball, more like a slurve in a way, at 70, but laid hard bite. Was able to get a lot of chases on that pitch. So those are kind of the guys that have stood out to me yesterday. Obviously, I could talk about 10 to 15 guys. But as you know, we don't have the time for that as we're about to hit the road again down to Blythewood. Coach?
Yeah. I mean, like you said, tons of players. We can talk about them all. You know, you only hate only being able to do, about 3 of them, each right now, because you can kind of talk about the whole, feel like about 20 of them each. But I'm going to start off, with a couple 2023 guys, both commits. I'll start off over at the Forest Acres Classic with Walker Mitchell over there at River Bluff, 23 shortstop, Coastal Carolina commit. I've gotten a chance to watch Walker play, a few times this spring, and I mean he's a guy that kind of sticks out like a sore thumb in a good way. Makes all the plays at shortstop, shows the easy actions, the easy arm across the field, can range to his left, range to his right, coming in slow rollers. It's just really, he's a guy. A lot of the times you see shortstops in high school and they move on to the next level. They can't stick it short. Walker's one of those guys that can profile it short for many years to come. Whether it's at Coastal Carolina or down in the future in the pro ball. But he's also a guy that not only smooth fielding defensively, but he can really swing it. I've seen him drive balls out of the park. I've seen him drive balls backside. Kind of do it all with the bat. Runs well down the line. Not a plus runner, but good athletic, moves well, gets down the line. But Walker's just he kind of has it all. That kind of could profile as a shortstop down the road. Along with the bat. The first day. Second day he was there, kind of struggled a little bit at first, but he was facing a funky side armor guy that's really kind of not normal, but he kind of stays in there, hangs in there, and, uses the whole field and drive balls all over the place. So Walker's a really good one to watch. I'm going to jump over to the Diamond Invitational, and another 23 commit going to Clemson outfielder, Jackson Proctor. Jackson had one of those tough luck days, I'd call it, as a hitter, as a baseball player. It's one of those things where there's some days you can do everything right and get nothing to show for it. And that's kind of where Jackson was yesterday. We saw his first at bat facing Jackson Sobel, one of the better left-handed arms in our state, coming to Georgia Tech. And, he's up to 89. It takes an 87, 88 mile an hour fastball away and hits a missile right at the left fielder for an out, but puts on a great quality swing, hits a bolt over there, gets out. Then his at bat later in the game, bases loaded, right? I think they're down, three or four at that point in time?
Yeah.
2 outs, drills one in the left center gap. You think he's got a double in the gap, maybe rattles it off the wall and great play, like you mentioned earlier, by Cameron Seabuck out there for Oceanside. But I think he's probably the only center fielder that would have run that ball down. Almost every other time Jackson hits that ball, it's a double, if not a triple in the gap, for 3 RBIs. But Jackson, he's a hitter, left-handed stick that just barrel balls up and stays in there, whether he's facing a left-handed arm, right-handed arm, and he just consistently square balls up. So Clemson's got them a good one coming onto campus. Next year for those guys, but he's got some more work to do over there at Berkeley for the Stags. I know they're trying to repeat over there. So see how that one shakes out. We'll get a chance to see him again today. We're looking forward to that. I'm going to go back over to the Forest Acres Classic. Young man Hunter Epps for Airport. Hunter, 2025. The first day I got to see him there, day one of the Forest Acres Classic, was playing shortstop. And showed some good actions out there, bounced around, high energy guy, a little bit smaller frame kid, but bounced around, ton of energy on the field, kind of, had a chance to make a few plays out there. But speed, 4-1 on the drag, 4-2-5. I got him on a ground ball down the line, gets a base hit to right. Kind of, the perfect 2-hole guy for them. They got a big thumper, one of the better hitters that hits in the 1 hole, and Hunter hits behind him. So he gets on, he can use the short game, the bunt, the drag, the push, or spray line drives all over the place, and then get on base and steal bases. But probably the more impressive thing was day 2 facing River Bluff, which has the Stag lineup. He's on the mound. Kind of a sidearm submarine guy, nothing overpowering, but competed. I can't remember exactly what his line was, but goes, 5+ innings on the mound, holds them to 1 run, 5 hits, kept the ball down the whole time, making incredible plays off the mound. They're, River Bluff's trying to bunt and do some things to get guys over, bouncing off the mound, making sliding plays, flipping balls over to get the lead out on the guy. Showed tremendous athleticism, showed tremendous confidence, swagger, bouncing off the mound. So he was really fun to watch. I know they end up getting a tough loss that game, but just watching him, how he plays the game, it's really fun to watch him bounce around and do those little things that really help his team. And that's really what he is. He gets asked to bunt, he gets the bunt down. He gets asked to pitch, he goes pitch. And keeps people at bay. And that's why Airport has won a ton of games, so far this year, and why they're going to continue to win games. So it was really fun to watch those first couple of days over there, the Four Acres Classic.
Yeah, no doubt. They got the championship going on today with Dutch Fork taking on River Bluff after Dutch Fork's huge win last night against AC Flora. So that'll be an exciting one for sure in the state today. And we'll be down at Blythewood for the Diamond Invitational. Big time matchups going on today. So excited for those. Excited to give the people of South Carolina the best content in the state. I think we've sent out over 50 tweets in 3 days, it feels like. That may be lowballing. That may be lowballing there with the 50 tweets. But hey, make sure you're following all those social media accounts. So TikTok just went out last night. So make sure you go check that out. Instagram, some stuff on Instagram. And as always, everything's on Twitter. So make sure you get ready for the podcast on Sunday night as well. That's when the fun will take place, as we like to call it. And maybe I'll talk about the Blue Ridge Chapman game that I saw the other night. I was told to give Blue Ridge some love after that big win. So we're gonna give them some love right now, for me saying that, and also on Sunday. So stay tuned.
Scout blog's out also, so you can read about the
Scout blog is out. Got to have that subscription, so make sure you have that.
It was out yesterday. That was out yesterday, so go check it, take a look.
That's right. And then these beautiful Scout blogs, Forest Acres are out now, and then Diamond Invitational coming up here soon. So make sure you stay tuned for all of that. So that's gonna do us for the emergency pod. So from all of us here at PBR South Carolina, have a great week.